Test, test. A heck of a delay here. Still bouncing from this area. Again, what I'd be looking for. It's way too much of a delay here on this feed. Nice. So I'm going to let this run. Because it is a little delayed on the YouTube feed to figure out how to fix that so that price action is a little more recent. But just for document purposes, I'll just keep this running, which is the original idea I have anyway. But as of right now, again, very slow. We got 2 p.m. coming up, which will lead us into power hour. We still have this strong level here, 22.75 to 04, which again I still have marked here, 22 to 02, whatever, it's around the same, to 04, it's there. And then we got the 15-minute here, just hanging around inside of this same candle for the last 3 candles. So let's see where it goes. As of now, again, what I'd like to see is a strong close taking out this 15-minute FEG above. And then possibly head, if we're able to break over at least this high here and retest, head into the London low. If not, then we'll just hang out where we are and maybe keep going lower. I'll figure it out in a bit here, but as of right now, no trades. As I was saying before when I was recording this not on live, we have a 5-minute trend here, right? And the reason I don't really like these trend lines is because if you do it on the 15-minute, not that they don't work, I'm sure they do for a lot of people. The reason I don't like them is, look, you got this 15-minute trend here. So on the 5-minute, you're holding up. On the 15-minute, you're not. So If anybody knows about trend lines and you guys use them more often, maybe you'd say, oh, well, this trend line's 15 minutes, so it's stronger. I have no idea. Maybe when you break them both, that means that you're going to go down. I have no idea. But I just find it interesting to have them there just to see how they work because I don't really use them. But they're interesting to observe. As a matter of fact, I'll just leave the 15 there and the 5 there and see if that does anything. But primarily, I'm focusing on breaks above highs or lows for continuation on a retest. Right, so in this case, I mean, best case scenario, we break above this high, retest the high, right, which also retest this actual order block here. Oh, we just got orders put in right here. Now we're seeing levels light up at 22,100, so this could be a good sign that we are finally going to get out of here. Again, a nice indicator on the 5-minute would be a close above these highs right here, which is where we've been basically ranging. Close above, retest, something strong and healthy to get us up and out of here. Don't like, again, this is the original move before I started the live that I was looking at, is a rejection of this high here, which also coincided with the 15-minute. And since we had this whole move down, this was a lower high and lower low. At this point, technically speaking, we did shift structure, right? So we have a higher low, higher high. And that's why I've been looking to the upside for that potential, because right here, again, the overall trend on all higher time frames is still bearish. Doesn't mean we can't have a push on the lower times that starts something, right? Some momentum to the upside. So and something I've been observing too is like this the percent delta on the candles based on what somebody told me that they use and something I'm trying to build for them. That percent delta is very interesting to look at. Still don't know too much about how to use it, but if you do see, basically, like anything else, if your last two candles, so for example, the last two 5-minute candles right here, they had a negative delta of around 12, negative 12 and negative 8 right here. And then right now we're getting a positive delta of almost 13. So I suppose maybe if it goes to a positive delta of 15, that's good. So look, we are getting this push out here. We're clearing these levels. This is good so far. We do have another small ceiling here. We could just rocket through it. And we have the hour coming up in 2 minutes, right? So the hour closes usually bring some kind of volume. This could be a good thing. So far, it's looking good. It's what I was looking for, right? It's the inverse this 15-minute FVG. Let's see if we can get it. This is not bad. So, like, let's say this closes here. We're looking to retest the high that was broken, right? And you can see this as well here on the 15. You want a retest of that level for continuation. And you could deep retest as far as here, even down to here. So anywhere from 55 to 68 for a stronger retest. You'd probably want to see it retest only the high. So let's see. See, we're closing below a 15-minute FEG. I don't like that. Doesn't mean we can't push. I don't like it. Tons of alarms over here. See, we didn't close over that order block. These are things I look for, especially at this time. I don't really trade the afternoons, but I'm trying to document what would happen here and how it would work instead of just recording it for myself. So we did get a retest of that high so far in the 5 minute. Now if we get enough impulse, and keeping in mind we have a zone right above us, but we could blast through that. So the new hour did open, and let's see what it does. So just to show it here, we broke this high. We retested this area right here. So far it looks good. Still choppy and ugly for me, but I say if you were taking a very risky entry, that would be your best entry. It would be around there. You can technically even take it there. Need to see how we react to this zone up here. Ideally, we want to clear it. And you can see we're trying to. I'll just fucking rocket through it while I'm trying to draw a rectangle here, but you can see right here we have that zone. And that's what we're holding on to right now. Right? And that's why I don't like longing into those. Doesn't mean it can't, right? But just precautionary, right? Because you're seeing that there's orders sitting right here. So maybe we don't clear this 15-minute FEG and we just wick it and then we reject down. Again, best case confirmation in this situation would be, and you given or granted it would be a while to wait, but it would basically be a strong push to the downside, closing below all these wicks, right? Even stronger would be obviously a close. I mean, it's all the way up below here. That'd be freaking crazy. But crazy or not, that's what you wait for usually. At least I wait for. Because what I want to see is this low broken, right? Because if this is indeed a higher low and this is a higher high, and this is a, well, let's say this would be the higher low right here, and then this becomes the higher high. If that is the case, I want to see this structure broken, right? If this was not just a sweep. So that's what I would wait for. So right now we are slowly doing nothing, right? So if you would have had that entry long here with a stop below, I suppose you'd be close to break even. Maybe just hanging out, waiting to see what happens. Another thing too is, here I have the VWAP, and then I have my range around the VWAP, which is these little light orange lines. I don't really like longing straight into the VWAP, right? Because yeah, of course it could fly through, and then we could bounce over. But we could also reject it very hard. So we got a 5-minute close coming in. Still not much here. Doesn't look great. Doesn't look horrible. But I do need to check how to get the internet more in sync. See this 5-minute here, how we're not closing above that wick high. So I'd like to see a close above that wick high here, just to show me that there's enough strength. And maybe the volume will pick up sometime coming up here. Yeah, we would need a lot of buyer pressure to come through here and just take this out. Seems like we're attempting it. You see the bubbles to the right. Buyers are trying to pop in here. Can we get that full move? It's a fight here. It's very dangerous to do anything, so just wait. You can tell there's a fight going on. We're trying to make a decision if we're going up or down. So nothing to do here. I will say, even though there is nothing to do, that usually what you get is these at these zones here. What you usually see is these are good areas to get short. If you're going with the trend and you're coming into one of these, if you use Bookmap, that is, and you see this stack right here, 1, 2, 3. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe that the proper term is nodes. It's best to get in on these nodes when you tap into them. In this case, again, I'm anticipating we could continue if that was indeed a bullish break. We could continue here to the upside. So we got 6 minutes here and 30 something on the 15 minute. This body never closed above the highs, right? This one might, and maybe that'll be like a slow path to ripping out of here. As of yet, right? So again, we have higher low, higher high. It'd have to be a strong momentum candle, break above here with a body, retest, and then we can continue to like 149, which is London low for today. But so far, that is not happening. What is happening is that we are attempting to reject this area. So a whole lot of nothing. Possibly risky entries if you found another way to do it. So right now, all I see is on the 5 minute, you had a wick high. You did not close above it on the body. And here you have this one. This same high here has yet to be taken out by a body closure. And it doesn't look like this candle will do it either. So you have to start asking yourself at that point, will it continue or not? Again, you wait, but just to give you an idea of how to think about price action, if you're rejecting this high, and then here this rejected the same high, we did not make a new one, and this third candle now is telling you, okay, we're still rejecting it, you know, it's just signs of potential continuation to the downside. Doesn't mean we will, but let's see. We still got this last 5 minutes here. Usually in the last 5 minutes of the 15, we get a nice picture of what's going to happen. We're attempting, we got orders lighting up above. And when I say lighting up, like you'll see here, these darker areas is where price will magnetize to or get attracted to. So when you see those, you got to start to wonder if we're going to head in that direction. You see the anticipation building up here. And if we do break, so they're putting orders now even higher. So we had order at 100. Now we have orders at 125 and 150 that are lighting up on the screen there. You can see it on the right. This could be a potential breakout. All right, so we're attempting to break this high right here. We should probably see a little rejection here. And if we are going to continue, we can push right on through. But cool part would be closing above the VWAP. Again, trying to take out this high to then retest. If we get a retest, right, we just might get some crazy momentum. Looks like we could power through here. Still too early to chase this. All right, there's that momentum. Looks like we're going to finally attempt to get out of here. Let's see if we can do it. So just for reference, this is the high to break and then retest. So an ideal setup would look something like this. So we break out, retest these right here, and as well as this area here that we're breaking out of as far as the orders, and then we continue to at least London low. If that was to play out, that's how I would see it playing out. The only part that leaves me uneasy, again, prices is showing the signs of continuation, right? We have orders being set up above. It's all healthy. So here we go. 5-minute closure coming up as well as a 15-minute. Looks like we are going to get above that wick. And now the 5-minute is above VWAP. The 15-minute is above VWAP as well. So all positive signs so far. Let's see what happens here. Now you're starting to see if you can. Let me see if we close above the high. But on the right, you can see every now and then these darker red lines appearing. Like right here, you see these right here. So what I do see is the potential to close above that high in a couple seconds here, and then get a darker pool of red here to pull back and then continue. So let's see if that does happen. Did we close? Yeah, we're good. All right. So now we need to retest, which we technically already have. Started a retest. I'd like a deeper one to the pool, or you can get in here with the momentum. So let's see if this will work, or if we need a deeper retest. We might need a deeper retest here. There's the deeper retest. Let's see if we can hold and take off from here. Does this price need to do something else? We have targets to the 112s, 125s. So I'm currently in a long here. I'm already at break even. So let's see if we can take off or if we're going to fail. Might get taken out of break even if it keeps doing this back and forth. The entry on that retest is very important. Now, if it doesn't go, it doesn't go. If it goes, it goes. There's nothing we can do except wait. So this should be the push. If not, probably want to get out of this. Oh, God, took me out. Oh, well. The momentum I was looking for wasn't there. Now, I can't do anything. So if it takes off, it does what it does. Yep. So I got taken out with small profits there. Now let's just see what price does here. If it takes off, we'll have a little party to watch. Yeah, so see that did trail me out in some profit because I moved it into profit as soon as I saw and I said, oh, that's where it should go. Again, well, I say again because I've been recording for a long time, but here on live, I'll say again and again is I like to look for that momentum to continue and push through. If it takes me out, that's all good. Got some profit out of it, but I want that momentum to go. So when I said, well, here it should go, and it started to try to attempt this right here, it should go, right? I'm very aware that higher time frames are still bearish. Can we still take off? Of course we can, right? So the 5-minute closing above its prior wick here is a good sign. So sometimes it's a thing of patience and waiting and also risk management, right? How much are you willing to risk? How are you sized? So 5 minutes closing above its prior wick. This is not bad. We should see some movement here. Still a lot of hesitation here. We just approached the 15-minute wick over there. I didn't have that drawn out, but got a 15-minute wick right here. So the good part is these orders have thinned out over here. So that might be a positive thing. Those 15-minute wicks are risky, but usually good places to take a limit order and just quickly try to catch. In this case, it would be quickly trying to catch a short, and you'd be basically trailing it real fast. Not recommended at all, to be honest. It's a horrible way to trade, but just usually how I've seen people play the wicks, how I've played the wicks before, but not worth it in the long run. Now, I will say above here, it looks like clear skies if we're able to start pushing up hard. I'm going to mark this real quick to see if I can get some more perspective on that right there, because I want to see how price closes. Possibly focus a little more on it. Let me not move the chart too much because it starts to get wonky and delayed. You know, already 23 minutes into the hour. Mm-mm. See if we're going to fail this high. Looks like, see how that 15-minute, again, very risky, but when you take those little rejections off of them, you get some kind of movement. Five-minute not making a new high. Let's see if it wants to reject its current high there that it made on that red candle. We're just going for a straight push to the downside. How's that going to work? This could be a nice ride. Let's see. Oh, not enough momentum. Still scooped a nice little chunk there. Let's see what happens. So now we officially are retesting that prior high that was broken. When I say officially, I like to see the so if we're breaking a high with these candles, I want to see bear candles come in and respect that high. Now I want to see a push out of here. Are we going to get it or are we going to not? Let's see. We'll figure it out in a second. So this zone here will now act as support. And if this proves true, we will get a closure back above. So basically use as support, reject, finally close back above this guy and go. I don't know if we're going to retest it or not if that happens. But that wick rejection, if you look at it from here, let's just say you had that limit order there. And again, these are riskier plays, but you had a stop of 25 to 30 ticks. And you had a little burst here to 68 ticks. So ideally, you probably would have gotten a 60. That's not bad. So this should hold to continue, right? Because the trend is slowly moving its way up, right? We made a new high here, made a new high here. So it's just a matter of where do you get in, how much patience do you have, and the proper risk management. Making sure to always protect your capital. So we wait. We could have a retest all the way down to 65, technically speaking. And I say that because I'm eyeballing this right here that we never cleared. So 54 to 65, we're going to do some kind of like crazy pullback. It looks like 60, yeah, 68, 69. This area right here too. All right, so see here when we broke out of this, we came back, we retested it pretty deep, basically to the low. The same could happen here if the market wants to do it. Could come all the way back down here and then go, right? So you got to feel all this out. Ideally, this is the ideal setup, right? We broke a high, we retested that high, and now we continue. I'm going to have to hop off here in a second. I got to go finish something. So you could, based off what I'm seeing, extremely risky. You can still take that long. The best entry would have been coming back into this order block. Right now we have like a mixed bag. We're still rejecting this one here, so I wouldn't want to go against that. I want to see a closure above this and then continue, right? Still using this guy's support. But again, we could do a deep retest. It doesn't mean things have shifted or anything. Everything's still, as of right now, on the lower time frames, we're seeing bullish momentum. Higher time frames, we're still bearish. Let's see if right here, oh, we got an FEG. That's very nice. Got a 15-minute FEG there. Let's see if we can respect that or if we just tear right through it and say goodbye. You do see momentum coming in little by little. Orders on either side. So again, undecided. Buyers and sellers aren't equal, but they're close. They're about 100 off. So you see on the right side here, 720s, 700s. Here you got high 600s. So basically even split. Again, this would be if you're taking a long, would possibly be a good area. But I would love to see price get above this. Look, we just got these orders here. This might be where we run to. Again, once we get through this area here, this is what I call the slip and slide, where basically we just go. Usually through those areas we go pretty hard. You can see the fight. You can definitely see the fight back and forth here. Still any man's game. See what I mean? So you're getting these deeper pulls, right? Where if you did get in there, now you're, and let's say you have a stop, and for some reason you moved it, which not advisable. It's one of those areas where you're like, okay, now what? You're freaking out, etc., etc. So that's where I use these levels to kind of help out. Kind of see again here, darker areas is where price tends to get magnetized to, but see how you have dark here and dark here. You're basically you have an even split, right? You have this tug of war is the best way to describe it. And yeah, you couldn't use lines, right, as retest areas. These you could use, this cloud. You can use a bunch of different things, but price in general is really the most important indicator of what's going on, right? Price will tell you what's up. So far, I just see this as a deep retest. If we do go to a higher time frame just to look at it, right, we got a 30-minute, right? Look, we're rejecting this 30-minute wick right there. The 1 hour, again, I said I saw these wicks, right? I don't want to go up against these guys into a strong and say, yeah, that's where we're going, because yes, we do have to reach structure that we broke at 140, right? Close to 149, pretty cool confluence there. But when will we go? Not sure. And anticipation, all those things, not predicting is the most valuable piece of advice. I do have to jump off here though. I'm going to continue to do these. Looks like something good will happen here, but way too slow for my taste. Maybe towards the end of the hour, maybe in 2 minutes, something will happen here. So far, looks like we should continue to the upside. Again, unless we get a structure shift on the 15-minute, the 30-minute is doing the same thing. So we got a new high right here. So I'd say higher low, higher high, right? We could get, you can use any tool you want. You could also say, let's say 50% of the move, right? So we're going to go from here to here. Oh, what did I just do? Hold on a second. Just to give an area here, because I will leave this streaming. Let me see here. We can go with this one. That'll work. Because all I really need is the 5 here. So we could come right to this 0.5. I mean, this is also a good thing for a good use of the Fibonacci tool. So let's just say that we're going to test. Like we would be looking for a healthy retest. I'm getting weird calls here from unknown numbers. Why would I answer an unknown number? No idea. All right. So let's just say that's the case. And I'll make this dashed so it stands out. And I will delete this guy. Let me just see if it aligns. Yeah, it aligns with the 15-minute as well as far as like fibbing it. So let's just say that would be a premium entry, right? And if we did it the other way, the 618 is like right below. So if you were into that whole situation of fibs, those are premium areas, right? Then you got to look, does anything align here, right? Yeah, so we have the current, as at this point for this high, we have the current demand on the 15-minute here. We just tapped the top of that. So we just tapped the 0.5, right? And then we just tapped the 0.6 over here. Sorry, we're attempting to. Look at this here. See how price magnetizes to these, right? Now something important, right? Different variables here that I use at least to look. Still have this order block level there. And what do we have here? Still another order block level. That is not letting me select it for whatever reason. So, what's crucial to watch? Well, are we going to break below this low? Are we going to tear through this? Yeah, possibly, right? Back to that wick rejection play. High risk, however, pretty good reward so far. This was your wick right here, wick high on the 15-minute. Again, you had like a 30 tick stop. So far, you had 100. Well, you burst to 177. You can get out anywhere there in those ticks. They're pretty good plays. And these trend lines, man, I just had them there to look, but they're very annoying in my opinion because they're not great indications to me of anything. But just testing them out because I've seen people using them and maybe it's valuable for whoever uses them. But yeah, so if we hold this 0.5, right, it's not just getting in when it touches that level. This is a different situation. If you're limit ordering these 15-minute wick high, like it has to be the last wick high, and it's a whole different strategy. But if you're doing that, that's different. Now, when retesting fibs, definitely want to see something like this. But we also want to see something that come out, right? Because the other thing we have here is we have a 15-minute FEG that you can see on the 5-minute. It's also here, this green box, right? Now we're inversing that sucker. So what does that mean? That technically would mean that we continue bearish. So lots of things to observe and things to really help you have more patience. So there we go. We're attacking the 618 of the current range. This is why we don't just long when we get to these levels. But look right here. You see how we get that darker pool of orders? Price magnetizes, right? And then we get the darker pool up there and price. So it's still in that battle, right? We're still in the 700s on both sides. Market is still even, in my opinion. Leaning where? I mean, I'd say, all higher time frames are bearish. So we could be leaning bearish. That's where we should be, right? So yeah, I got to go because I got things to take care of. But I will mute myself and leave this running. And let's see. We'll see what happens for the rest of the day. At least till I turn it off before I leave. So far, still potential for that upward move. This would be a very deep retest. So let's see where it goes from here. I'm going to mute it and leave it and let price do its thing. Enjoy.